So for those who don't know me, my name is Doug Vincent. I'm the Chief Executive and founder at Mastt. I'm a former project manager. I still like to think I'm a project manager, and I absolutely love AI. Don't worry if you can't catch all of this. A link to the session will be shared around afterwards. And if you have any questions, throw them into the chat box, and I'll do my best to answer them at the end. Cool. Now, I do have AI in my eyes. I thought about blowing this up and making it a bit bigger because I am very passionate about the opportunity we have in front of us to use AI in the construction industry. I mean, we are just at the bottom of the digitization index when it comes to technology. Like, I think we're below fishing. And so I think AI is going to have a massive impact in our world over the next few years. And so for that reason, our vision at Mastt and our mission and our catchphrase is all AI based. We really do see a future where you have agentic AI in every team, creating this true human plus AI workforce. So it's all about liberation for us, liberation of project managers in the construction industry. And by the end of this session, you will be a human, and you will also, well, hopefully you're a human, as opposed to maybe a reptilian, but you will be a human and have AI in your day. So what we're going to cover in today's webinar is, what does AI actually mean in construction? I'm just going to spend 30 seconds on that. Then we'll go into the biggest challenges with AI in construction. So yeah, you'll probably, what that is, we'll jump into it. But anyway, so next, how to identify the right use cases, and then how do you actually get adoption of AI inside your businesses or inside your work? I'll reveal those secrets to you, and these are things that we do at Mastt ourselves. Then we're going to get 21 use cases. I'm not going to demo all of them because that would take forever, but I will demo 9 if we have time. So I'm actually going to share my screen, go to the tool, and then actually show you how to do it. So it's going to be awesome. Last one, future trends shaping the industry. Where is it all going? AI is everywhere. What does the future look like? Who knows? But I'll try to reveal a little bit, and then how to get started. So let's jump in. A lot to get through. Now, what does AI actually mean in construction? It is a broad term. So AI has been around since the 60s. It's not really anything new, but certainly in today's day and age, it just does feel like it's everywhere. It's manifesting itself in different ways. You've probably heard the word large language model. You've probably heard about AI agents, these little digital assistants that do all of the work. There's all these products that have got AI attached to it, AI this, AI that, even Mastt, ChatGPT, Gemini. These are examples of AI-based products that are bringing AI inside their service for people to use. There's the term generative AI, which is essentially, generating things. Think of it that way. And then recently there's this term agentic AI, which is more of like, think of it like a behavior. So, but everything that you see on screen now, you'll be looking at in these demos. So these are all terms that hopefully build up, a bit of a dictionary for you, and you can talk confidently with friends and family and colleagues about AI on the weekends, like I do. So let's take that away. Everything you see there will be in today's webinar. But as opposed to, I think educating people is one thing on AI, but then it's actually, how do you go ahead and start? What's the use case in my business, in my context? And it's not about, AI itself is hard to use. It's really knowing where to start, because you are presented with just so many opportunities to use it. Like, it just has this overwhelmingly large amount of things you can do with it. So there's a lot of carrots in front of us. Makes it a little too hard to start. You kind of get this decision paralysis. And I'm hearing a lot of businesses who, I had one just large company last week. They just wanted me to just show our product to them. And I'm like, well, what are you trying to achieve? You can't just pilot anything. You really need to have a clear goal of what you're trying to achieve. So I would start problem first as opposed to, system first, and make sure there's a real measurable outcome there. Third, so many tasks. My goodness. In the construction industry, there's just so many things that happen from planning through to closeout. There's absolutely so many places that you can use AI in that. So, again, where to start makes it even worse. Number 4, this is a big challenge. The data is absolutely dreadful in the construction industry. So I think it's actually better to start in single player mode as opposed to, let's put AI across our whole business, because the data is probably not very good. Last one, executives. Guys, it's time to get AI into the brain, into the mind. How do we wake up in the morning and think AI? Turn your alarm clock into something that just says AI, AI, AI repeatedly. Because without your leadership, there's going to be nothing happening inside the business. So we need to build the AI culture to really scale that value and make sure we have a roadmap for AI inside our businesses. So where to start? This is a framework we use. I've also adopted this table on the right from an OpenAI paper. But in my view, I think starting small in what we call single player mode, while aiming high and prioritizing these projects that you identify is the way to go. It should be led by leadership, but in a way that you're empowering those staff members to find those single player mode use cases. If they can find some really great way to use AI for themselves, then we can scale that across the business later. But let them be curious, let them be tourists, let them sign up to heaps of tools, and let them have fun and find those use cases. The key with this is you want to deploy AI into places that are going to have the most value. I mean, any software you buy should be deployed into those areas. Think, for AI in particular, repetitive, super boring, low value tasks. That's where you have the biggest opportunity. Or, bottlenecks in skills. Maybe you don't want people asking questions to everybody and distracting executives and all that type of things. And then lastly, ambiguity. Think crazy documents that humans can't understand or are too long to read, that type of thing. So these might look like, bottom right. I wouldn't go and build your own custom AI software from scratch. Like, that would be a low value, very high effort thing to do. I wouldn't do that. Take my word for it. I probably also wouldn't do some funky chatbot over your internal policy documents. I think it would be pretty low value. It's not really in the workflow of the users, so I wouldn't do that. Top right, high value, high effort is this crazy AI-powered knowledge base that you can just get instant answers on anything, on any project, and any lesson learned. That will take, I don't even think that's possible right now. Low effort, high value, think of those repetitive, boring things. Doing data entry, reviewing payments, or clicking through a giant PDF contract to try and understand it or find something. These are single player mode use cases that happen every day, very high volume, and you'll get a huge ROI if you deploy a successful AI solution into those areas. So if you find one, this is what's going to happen straight away. The usage will start out erratic because you have these kind of tourists, kind of AI tourists, where they play with the tool, they give it a rip, and so you kind of see a lot of utilization, a lot of people talking about it, but it's really this experimentation phase where they're kind of bashing around in the tool, figuring out what's possible, and then at some point they'll find some value. They'll have this aha moment and go, oh wow, it actually did review the payment automatically, or it actually did find the right clause in this huge contract for me really quickly. And so these little micro use cases will start to emerge, and that will then see this drop off in utilization, because people kind of get used to it, they've tested it as much as they can, They lose interest, the novelty fades, but then you'll start to see, as they've seen these proof of values emerge, those use cases will start to scale. And so this is a chart from a McKinsey study on early GitHub Copilot usage, and that's exactly what happened. So the message here for leaders is just hold. You got to let this play out. It's going to take months. You just hold the line, go through these 3 phases, and you'll probably start to identify them in your business. Nuggets of gold will emerge, and try to scale those nuggets of gold up. Now, I mean, just looking at this screen and how many opportunities there are here is just absolutely wild. AI will transform every stage of the project lifecycle, every task. There is just so much administration and so much of that ambiguous work that we were talking about a minute ago inside the lifecycle. So we won't go through all of these, but let's get into it. That's why we're here. Stop talking, Doug. Let's move into the good stuff. So this is a rapid fire thing. So I'm going to go through these super quick. It's being recorded. You can go back to it if you need. I really want to get across ideas for use cases, and then a little bit of a way that you can get started. And I thought it'd be cool to do it like in this life of a project manager way, where maybe they have a calendar, they have all these meetings to do, and then they have a tender, review work, maybe they've got some lunch happening, and then ending the day with a report. So I mean, if you got all of that done in one day and you're a project manager, man, you would be absolute legend inside that business. So this is how we're going to do it. I've actually found some cool real data to use as well. So when I screen share, you'll actually be seeing me use real data from this real project online. It's actually open right now. So if someone's tendering this, man, are you going to get a lot of value out of this? So let's jump in. All right. Use case 1, meeting minutes. My goodness, this is the easiest win on the planet. If you're having a meeting, just record the transcript. You don't need to record the video, just the transcript, and then AI will automatically take that transcript and draft a perfect set of meeting minutes. And the way to do this is just simply tell it to imagine that it's this construction project management expert. And then it will do everything that you could do, and it will create a beautiful set of minutes. So try to put it in context when you're giving a prompt, behave as this, or you're an expert in that, and it will do a fantastic job. Now, I know what you're thinking, Doug, this is so obvious. We're doing it now already. It's not that cool. Well, let's kick it up a notch, because I have seen some people doing this. Instead of sending back meeting minutes that are super boring, PDF, Word document, why don't we send them a website, and the website has all of the meeting minutes in it and all the actions. Now, this took me, I think, like 5 minutes to do this. So let me click over to my meeting minute dashboard. So I built this with, I'm actually going to put this in the chat here so everybody can click into this. Everyone. Cool. So I used Gemini to do this, Google's AI product. I gave it all of the meeting notes from all the different meetings. These are just fake meetings. And I created this website that is a shareable link that I've just shared with you that I could send to a client, and it would have all the meetings in it, and they can download them if they need to. This took me less than 2 minutes with a very, very simple prompt. So super strong use case. You can create a website in under 2 minutes using these AI tools, and you can put your minutes into it and do something awesome that's super impressive and gives a great experience to clients. So way cooler, way more fun. Tell it your brand colors, tell it your logo, give it as much as you can, and just start vibing with this thing and make an awesome meeting minute interactive website. Okay, let's keep going. Use case 3. Now, we do this all the time at Mastt. This is a case of just recording stuff. So we do a lot of screen shares. We do a lot of Loom videos, which is like a screen recording thing. And then you can actually just take those transcripts, put them back into the AI tools and get it to automatically prioritize, automatically review. You can even turn those insights into, like a LinkedIn post. Another really good one I saw is, an architect just brings up the plans on their screen, starts sharing, doing a screen recording, and just talks over the plans, and then uses that to create a design review checklist or a design review list. So if you don't have a screen recording tool, I'd recommend Loom. It's really good. Take the transcripts, use it to create work, super easy, super productive, and it's also good just to send the video around too. Okay, we're making good progress here. Use case number 4. This is the easiest win in the planet, just to become an absolute weapon at anything you're doing. But it is a cultural thing. So try to always think AI first. I'm going to go to AI. I'm going to brainstorm ideas. I'm going to test my assumptions. I'm going to get feedback on ways that I'm thinking, or I'm going to use AI to conduct research. You could even just go to it and think, how do I make this better? How do I make this better? What am I missing? Give me ideas for this. This is just really a cultural thing. And so setting up reminders for yourself around the office. My name on Slack is Doug AI, so that everybody knows that AI first is how I think. And I have a post-it note on my desk under my computer that asks me, can AI do this? Should I get AI's opinion? And you don't have to follow it, but geez, these are really valuable data points that are just so easy to get that you will instantly become a better human being. No question, no question. So super easy. And if you haven't had a play with the deep research function on some of these AI tools, then I would give it a crack, because if you were starting a new business or looking to go into a new market or crack a new client, the deep research areas are fantastic at doing all of that legwork and all of that groundwork for you. So super easy use case, no demo for that one. And I think the best way to do it is on a weekend, just go down the rabbit hole. This is just truly a case of being a bit of a loser like me on the weekend and just spending time in AI, vibing with it and going real deep, because you will discover a lot about yourself and a lot of AI use cases and start to come to terms with what is really possible. So super cool, super easy win. Just put a post-it on the desk. Okay, we're making good progress. Use case 5. We've got 23 to go to. They get better and better. Visualizing complex data with Canvas. So get your data, screenshots, Excels, doesn't matter. Go to ChatGPT, go to More, hit Canvas, drop in your stuff with a prompt like this, create a cool chart using the B rows. You'll do a whole bunch of code that you don't need to understand. Don't worry about it. All you need to do is when the preview button comes up, hit preview, and it will create this awesome interactive chart of that data for you. So not many people know about that. Super cool feature. Visualize any data instantly from any format. Just drop it in Canvas, create a cool chart, preview, and you can screenshot that or send that link around to whoever you need to. Cool. Super easy one. Let's keep going. Okay, use case 6. Tendering / proposal strategy. Now, we might actually use the real data for this. This is where we're going to use AI to quickly assess tender, whether we should go for it or not, craft a strategy. You can even actually, because it can search the internet, you can actually ask it who else maybe you're going to be competing against. And then, use it to then create a really persuasive outline. So let me give you a demo how I would do this. Cool. So this is the website for this tender, which is actually open right now. Thank you, New South Wales government. I'm going to copy all of that. I'm going to go to Mastt. So we're inside Mastt. Now, by the way, we're inside a project and I'm inside our AI tool. So this is free. And I'm going to go, should I bid for this opportunity? Tender, question mark. And I'm going to be a contractor. So I'm going to behave as a contractor. I'm going to paste that whole website in. So just copied all the data from that website with Control A, Control C. I'm asking, as a contractor, should I bid for this tender? A lot of data in there, and we're starting to get a response here. So let's see what it's done. I can help you, sorry about that. I can help you evaluate whether this tender aligns with your key capabilities and goals. It's summarized the project for me. It's a comprehensive fit out, potential advantages, key considerations, next steps. Oh, pre-tender briefing. Yesterday, missed it. Gentleman's name, a bunch of documentation, and it's telling me I've got 2 weeks. So interesting. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper here. So now we've actually got some documents. So this is the tender doc. So it looks like this. 160 pages tender doc. So I've already uploaded it. I'm going to click it here. I've attached the tender document. How can I be competitive? What are the opportunities to differentiate myself in this tender? So it's got the website, it's got the document. And so this is a, classic tender pack. It's got the contract in there. It's got, oh my goodness, no one wants to read this. Schedules in the back, modern slavery, all of these things that you would have to read. 160 pages worth. Why don't we just get AI's help with this? So I've attached it. We're going to ask it, how can I be competitive? What are the opportunities to differentiate myself? So the deeper, with these tools, by the way, the deeper the question, the longer it will take. So the first one was really quick. This one took a little bit longer. So let's see what it said here. So based on my opportunity, here are the key strategies to make your bid competitive. Critical success factors, must-haves, ISO, financial capacity. You have to actually provide documents, demonstrate your NTA. Interesting. Key opportunities, innovation proposals, big differentiator. Clause 41 says that you can actually propose things. Tribunal-specific expertise, modern slavery. Okay, a few other things in here. Let's go a little deeper. So let's think outside the box here. So I'm going to get another prompt and we're going to go back. Let's think outside the box. Come on, AI, you can do better. Where in our response to the RFT document do we have opportunities for creative thinking that might give us a competitive advantage? So like I was saying before, the deeper the prompt, the longer it will take to analyze the document. If you said, give me a quick summary or give me a concise summary, it would actually behave a bit shorter. And if the document is really long, like this document is 160 pages, it's going to take time to go through all of those documents. So we'll give it a chance, but what I'm doing here is trying to push the prompting, go down the rabbit hole with the tool to try and extract more out of it. And as you do this, you kind of get into a bit of a flow state with it, and you'll start to, kind of understand and figure out how it works. So let's have a look. What have we got? Come on, AI, give us the good stuff. We want to win. Looking at the RFT, there are several built-in opportunities where the principle is inviting creative thinking. Okay, cool. This is your golden ticket. Please give me the golden ticket. That sounds awesome. The contract literally incentivizes innovation and states that if accepted, the contractor benefits from the variation, blah, 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 blah. Smart building integration, modular techniques, prefab, tribunal, joinery. Very, very interesting. Non-price criteria. Propose a 10-year maintenance partnership. Interesting. Local Aboriginal business partnership. Alternative tender pathway. Interesting. So we're getting a lot of really good ideas here just from a few simple questions out of this tool. I could go then further, say put all of this into a table for me with actions for my team, and it would go ahead, and I've got then a key takeaway document that I can take to a meeting with my team. So just a couple of examples on how you can vibe with AI for tendering. Okay, let's keep going. I'm sure there's some questions coming through, but we need to keep ripping. So we're going to go on to use case 7. This is a favorite of mine. My goodness, this is so much fun. We know from the documents that the assessor from the chat we just did actually was a guy named Clint. Now, I don't know much about Clint, but you could go and research Clint online, use the AI tools, and figure out who he is. The key thing here is to put your best foot forward with tendering. You want to write the response in a way that's sympathetic to the reader. So you wouldn't write for a 5-year-old's birthday card something that you would write for a 50-year-old's birthday card. It's no different with a tender. So find out who the people are that are assessing it, and then put in a prompt like this. The tender assessor is XX, white male living in Australia, profile them, review all the best responses worldwide, and then draft this section of my tender in a manner that best resonates with that person. Or, rewrite this that best resonates with that person. Easiest win. Even easier than use case 5 that we looked at earlier. Okay, use case 8. We're getting a little more advanced here now. So this is all about using a feature of ChatGPT. I think a lot of them have it, but it's called the ChatGPT project. So on that website for the NCAT construction fit out project works, there's all these files, all these zip files, drawings, schedules, appendices, probably nearly 1,000 pages worth of stuff. We want to dump all those into one area so that we can start to work with those documents using AI. So, for example, one key takeaway, I'm going to jump in. This is one I prepared earlier, by the way. So we're looking at on the left. So this is my personal ChatGPT account. Projects, new project. I've created this one for NCAT, and I've put all the files in here, all the drawings and attachments, bill of quantities, blah, 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 blah. And you can then ask it to do stuff. So if I needed to, give me a risk register, for this project, it will go through all of the documents and, create a risk register for me. So this just allows you to bring all of that information together. But this is quite a simple use case, creating something. What I would be trying to do with that, putting everything into one folder like this, is actually get it to review your tender. So before you actually submit your tender, drop it in here and it will review it in accordance with all of these documents. I haven't gone as far to prepare a tender for this NCAT opportunity, but this is what I would do. I would use AI to create my response. Then I would run my response back through AI using the ChatGPT project. Here's one I think I prepared earlier. Let me jump in, see what this says here. If I upload my tender, can you review it against all the requirements of the RFP documents attached? Yes. Once you upload your tender, I can do a full compliance review against all of these things. So I would definitely do that. You'll absolutely find opportunities to improve your response using the ChatGPT project. Okay, easy one. Other opportunities for that, by the way, it's really just like a repository of documents. So you can use it for put all your scopes in there, put all your design briefs, just indexing stuff. You don't want to go too broad. Like I wouldn't use it like a complete company knowledge base. I would keep it very project based and specific. But yeah, put some stuff in there and then go crazy. Cool. Oh, and for the project owners listening, you can also do that with the responses that you get. So contractors, do it before you submit it. For those reviewing, project owners, project managers, do it after. Easy way to qualify. Okay, next one, use case 9. We're rocketing along. Build your own GPT for routine tasks. So a GPT is a generative pre-trained transformer. It's a feature inside ChatGPT that can create things. So if you have a routine thing you need to do, like transform some data, or you need something like created the same way every single time, you can actually build a GPT to do that for you. So let's jump in again. Okay, cool. All right, so here's my GPT. This is one I made earlier. So I'll show you what it looks like. Edit GPT. So you give it a name, risk register generator, tell it what it does, and then you give it a bunch of instructions. So I've told this GPT, complete a risk register, but do it in a format that I can easily upload it into Mastt. And so then I've put all of the row names and the column names and the order of the columns and the output format in here, so that when I go to generate a risk register, I can then put it straight into Mastt. So I've got one that I did earlier. Okay, here we go, BYO GPT. So this is the same project, the NCAT project, and it's given me, using Mastt AI, a list of all the risks so that I can submit a risk register with my response. And I'm going to go back to Mastt's AI risk register generator. And we're going to show you how this thing works. Come on, ChatGPT. Come on, ChatGPT. Okay. Whoop. Paste all of the risks in. There we go. So I'm just pasting it in. Turn this risk into a Mastt format. And here we go. Blah, blah, blah. Very thorough. And it's going to start to do its thing. So this will actually give me a file that I can then take and drop into Mastt. Blah, blah, blah. Project. Yes, please proceed. Proceed. Let me see if I've got one I created earlier. Cool. All right. Here we go. Let me get this out here. Risk register, drop that in. Read risks from file. Cool. Add. Bang. Straight into Mastt. Straight out of that GPT model. Super easy. So many things you can do with those GPTs. I would just jump in there, have a play, see what you needed to do, go back to it every time, and get it to do that task over and over. Okay, use case 10. This is another good one for either the projects or the GPTs. Onboarding new staff. Put all your policies and stuff in there, and it's just like a bit of a sidekick for new starters. They can ask questions without having to bother all of the executives. How do I do this? How do I do that? Who should I speak to about this? So that's a really good use case. We use that all the time at Mastt. Okay, use case 11. No demo for this, but using the tender documents, just like we did earlier, I would get the fee, and then I would actually upload my fee and get it to benchmark it against the RFP documents. Find gaps, highlight missing scope. Is there anything I've missed? Am I overpriced? Am I competitive? Again, a super easy win. So you want to do the compliance part that we were talking about earlier. Make sure your tender is compliant and as good as possible, but then also do the fee, because you don't want to be missing out on anything. Yeah, you want to be making as much money as possible. And to that end, this is a super fun one. I would definitely try this. So if you are a subby or a contractor, use it as a variation crystal ball, because a lot of the documents that go out for tenders have got heaps of mistakes in them or ambiguity. And so, but that's, it's really hard to find. But when you have AI, it's super easy to find. So you can actually become this predator and use a prompt like this. Imagine you are a predator subcontractor bidding for this job. Actually, let's just give this a try and see what it does. Okay, let's go back here to the NCAT. Okay, paste in. Imagine you are a predatory subcontractor. Sounds pretty crazy. Bidding for this job that makes money on variations and changes, which is the whole industry. Review the documents carefully, identify areas where I can get variations after winning the job. Here we go. Based on a review of everything, there are several areas that a predatory subcontractor could reasonably exploit post-award. Coordination gaps, indicative only layouts, services, to be confirmed on site. Boom, straight away. So you go to site, hey, this is a variation. This will just keep going, by the way. So that's pretty neat. That is pretty cool. Well done, AI. Okay, use case 13. Geez, really got a race. Creating on-point imagery. So you'll probably have to put some type of cool cover page. And what I would do is using an image generation tool. So I might go back to Mastt. Let's just paste this in. Attach to the RFT document. Review it quickly. Give me a prompt I can use to generate an impressive image for the cover of my proposal. And so to do the actual image, we're going to use Google AI Studio. This is free, actually. And there's this new model called Nano Banana. So this is what's going to generate the image for us. So this is free. You can go to this today. Let's get our prompt. Copy, paste, run. Create a sophisticated architectural visualization of modern tribunal facility interior. Cool. So you want to have an image that's going to speak to the project and speak to the assessor. There we go. That is crazy, hey? It's even got New South Wales Tribunal Service on the wall. So you could go crazy vibing a bit from there to find a better one, make it more emotional, make it more impactful, and generate something pretty impressive. But that was faster than rummaging through photos on my local drive. I mean, that took 2 seconds to do. Okay, use case 14, no demo, but if you took the plans from this tender or any tender, just the architectural GAs, do the same thing, put them in, but then ask it to create a rendering of the building. And it absolutely does a brilliant job. I mean, round of applause, Nano Banana, because that is very close to what the building looks like. Create marketing material, create visualizations, visions for the future, super easy to do and just high impact. I mean, that would cost heaps of money to do that before. Okay, let's kick it up a notch. So say you do get then a visual image. So this is a real rendering I got from a City of Sydney DA from the footpath, but it's hard to kind of see the building. So what you do, using Artlist, it's a new tool, I'll go to it in a minute. You go to AI image and video, and it has this neat tool called image to video. So you put the image in and then create a dramatic flyover video for a marketing showcase of this building. The result should be high class, realistic video. So it took about 10 minutes to do, but this was the result.
Where historic charm meets modern elegance.
Fully AI video.
Welcome to the pinnacle of urban living.
Took about 10 minutes. How good is
Where
that?
Historic charm meets modern elegance.
Wild. I mean, how
Welcome to the pinnacle of urban living.
To be able to showcase their project in a video just from
where historic charm.
I mean, absolutely crazy. So you don't need an image to do that. You can actually just do it from the GAs as well. So get the plans. Here's the plans. Give me a prompt that I can feed into a model. Get the prompt, paste it into Artlist, and use it to create a video from text to video. So big impact there, super easy. Okay, use case 17, contract reviews and manuals. Again, another easy one we can do using Mastt. You don't want to get stuck with any of these contracts. So I don't even know what contract is in here as the contractor. Give me an overview of the contract to be used in this RFT document. I believe it is a GC, probably, actually definitely, will be a GC21, unfortunately. But there's a lot of risk in those contracts. So I would always recommend pre-signing anything, put the contract into the AI tools, go over it, and actually flag key risks. So that's a key thing. You want to ask the AI tool to flag key risks if you sign this contract, because it will do a very good job of presenting back to you things that maybe you haven't thought about, or pitfalls in this document, areas that you might want to negotiate as part of contract negotiations. It's an easy legal blind spot coverage. As always, get your own legal review and advice done. But in terms of just covering those blind spots, making sure you are making an informed decision, definitely take your contracts, run them through an AI tool, and go crazy prompting. Even if you don't understand a certain clause, I would get Mastt AI or any other tool to explain those clauses to you in simple terms so that you can understand what's going on. This is interesting. Design responsibility. You carry design risk, irrespective of how the contract is described. This means even if you're just building, you could be liable for design defects. What the? Okay, let's keep going. Use case 18, schedule reviews. Another easy one. I won't demo this, but just take the PDFs. Oh, here we go. Yeah, take a big PDF like this of your program, drop it in to the AI tool, ask it for what are the bottlenecks, where are the missed interdependencies, are there any critical path issues, and it will do a fantastic job of identifying all of those problems. So great for program reviews. And if you have two of them, you can then do what's changed. So what has changed between last program and this program? Help me understand the differences. Another great use case. Saves hours of time. Okay, use case 20, super advanced one. Using AI to review progress claims and invoices. Some of you might have seen this on the previous demo. This is absolutely awesome. Not something you can do with ChatGPT, but we're going to use AI now to review a progress claim. So we're inside Mastt, inside the payment module. I've got a progress claim here. It's just a fake progress claim. And we need to add it in, but we also need to review it as well. So let me get my progress claim document up, and I'm just going to drag that on the Mastt. Let the magic begin. So it doesn't matter how long the document is, Mastt will go through the PDF, understand which contract it's relating to. It's going to pull out all of the line items, previous payments, this payments, etc. Go through the schedule, any evidence, materials off-site, insurances, anything that's attached with that claim or that invoice, and it's going to start to review it in accordance with the contract. So you're seeing here live Mastt's AI tool filling in the form. So it's actually populating this data into Mastt automatically. And now it's completing the last step, which is the compliance with the contract. This is a great thing to do just before you submit your progress claim or before you submit your invoice. Do a review. And then if you are on the receiving end, you don't have to, check all these things. You can use AI to do that for you. So let me explain what we're looking at here. On the left is the checklist from the contract. So one check is confirm the GST calculation is correct. Check 2, validate fee calculation. Check 3, confirm insurances, and so on. The middle column is AI's status. So it has accepted the first check as compliant with the contract, and it's given us a reason why. It's asked us to review step 2, and then step 3, or the third check, it's actually said this is missing. So there is no insurance evidence provided with this invoice, this progress claim, and so the human needs to check that. And I can accept that as the human if I'm comfortable. This is a true human in the loop AI experience that makes assessment of those invoices, assessment of those progress claims instant and easy. And of course, protecting everybody. Everybody wants to get paid. So really good use case available now. And then the last one, use case 23. We've made it. We're a little bit over time, but this is a coming soon emergent use case to use AI to instantly generate reports. So this is a bit of a preview here. I'm excited to see what this is going to do. Okay, so I'm sharing here. This is a prototype of a new tool from Mastt. This is an AI-powered dashboard and report builder. Can I please have a project status report? So this is inside Mastt. So across all of your data, all of your documents, all of your costs, risks, schedule, status information. Can I please have a project status report? This will build a report for us using all of the insights and knowledge that it has on how to build an absolute amazing report, find the right visualizations to convey that information, pull out the right imagery, tables, charts, text, and build it for us so that we don't have to do anything. And then your kind of steps from there are, do I save this as a template? How do I reuse this? But here we go. So this is airport redevelopment project. I've got my budget composition. I can play with this if I need to. Oh, it's given me a few tables. Pulled out the risk register, bit of a summary. And then I can go from there and actually re-prompt it if I want to continue building. So this is super cool, emergent use case, coming soon to Mastt actually. So very cool. Totally possible with AI. Totally possible. Well, I've just shown it, I guess so. Yeah, very cool. All right. We're coming to the end. We're near the end. 20-something use cases. I'm nearly out of breath, but what's coming next? Now, when you combine all of these use cases together, all these mini interactions, eventually they will just combine into and manifest as a worker. So if you bundle many cost or commercial related tasks together, you can basically then package that up and call that a digital team member. What then happens to the human is the human worker moves up to become the orchestrator, and they instead are not going into the UI of a software that's automating things. They're actually just issuing instructions to AI agents, emailing this agent, emailing that agent, WhatsApping another agent, and doing this orchestration role across many agents. And so the AI agents are actually going to be taking on all of that repetitive, time-consuming, mind-numbing work in Mastt and across other problems. This is the liberation moment that we're talking about, giving humans the time back to lead, solve, decide, build, spend time with families. Instantly that time is reinvested into quality. So this is exciting, absolutely exciting. And these, we feel, are the first roles to be liberated. these kind of controls, commercial roles, they're very, very heavy in administration. And so we think these are the first to go. And these are the ones that Mastt is focused on liberating first and giving those people their lives back. So eventually you'll have this full org chart of AI-based project team members, but it kind of starts small. And some of what you've seen today is the emergence of tasks slowly being taken off humans and given to AI. And that's only going to increase. So it's a super exciting time ahead. And how you can get started. This is the quick summary, but definitely start small and aim high. Encourage the staff. Encourage the staff, encourage the staff. Leaders, that's the most important thing. Dedicate some AI playtime. Try to build that AI first culture. Find the high volume, repetitive pain points that are single player mode, because it's much easier to find those and then scale them later. Start small, pilot a few tools inside those single player mode moments. Build a culture of AI to push through proof of concept. Remember, you've got to hold, stick it out, push through that POC phase until you see proof of value, and then scale these wins across the organization. If one of your team members or users is having success with the tool, everybody will. It's easy win. And then repeat, iterate. And if someone does have success, reward that. You want to be doing more of these things, finding those wins in the business. For Mastt, some of the tools you saw today are free. The AI autofill for payments and contracts, the AI chat. The only one that's not free that you couldn't play with right away is the AI payment review. That's on the professional plan. All right, I need to take a minute. That was way longer than I thought, but we got through it. 20 something use cases and demos. We got there. I'm really grateful for everybody's time who joined and stuck around. Thank you. Another amazing turnout, by the way. How awesome is AI? And thank you for giving me the extra 10 minutes of your time. We went a little bit over, but I'll stick around for questions. Thanks again, everybody. And if you want to reach out to me, I'll do my best to help. My email is here on screen. Thank you all.